When people believe in Jesus, does the attribute of sin in them disappear? Are there no problems if people who believe in Jesus commit sins? The attribute of sin does not disappear so long as the body has breath on earth. Even so, this does not mean you can accept sin. Jesus took up the cross so he could free us from the power of sin, not make us into people who are insensitive to it. People who accept the gospel must first understand that they are sinners. When they despair at the fact that they cannot escape destruction and kneel before Christ, life begins to work. The important thing is that this attitude continues even after you become a believer. Becoming a believer does not mean you no longer sin. It means that you become someone who cannot live without the Lord's grace. The person who does not acknowledge that sin is in him, even though he says he believes in the gospel, is imprisoned by the power of sin. This person commits sins since he is unable to resist them, and later reaches the point where he cannot feel guilty. On the other hand, the person who lives by the gospel will acknowledge that he is filled with sins, use the power to resist sin, and even obey the Lord's command to love each other. As soon as rumors spread that Jesus was performing signs, many said that a dead prophet was at work in him. King Herod heard these words, and the rumor that John the Baptist, who died the previous year, was at work in him especially made King Herod anxious. This was because he was the one who killed John the Baptist. While John the Baptist proclaimed repentance, he criticized King Herod for marrying his brother's wife, Herodias, by unlawful means. So King Herod put John in prison, but he sometimes listened to John's words and felt guilty in his conscience. However, King Herod eventually killed him due to Herodias' scheming. With this, the only person who could knock at his conscience disappeared from the world. A year passed, and King Herod heard the rumors about Jesus and sunk with apprehension as he remembered John the Baptist. Though he once wanted to meet Jesus, his purpose was not salvation. He simply wanted to confirm that he was not John who had died. Before Jesus was hung on the cross, he stood before Herod. To King Herod, who already submitted to the power of sin, Jesus was not the king who would judge the world, but he was just an object of ridicule. When Jesus broke the power of sin, he made us into people who can struggle against sin. People's sins do not automatically disappear if they just believe. You must struggle against sin. For sure, you can stumble. But the Lord gives us grace. He also gives us the power to overcome sin. Until we arrive at the Lord's kingdom, let's not remove the spirit of repentance. As the Lord helps us until the end, let's trust in Him each day.